Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of CricChat with Baaz. And today I have a very special friend with me here. He's been online with me for after almost about half a decade, if I'm not wrong. Ram, welcome to the chat show.
Thank you. Same
Uh,
here as well.
well, it's been more than 5 years, I believe, that we have spoken like this.
Oh, it's over that, I think. It's now we just moved around 6.5 years since living in Toronto, so
Yeah.
definitely it's over 5 now.
All right, all right. So, what is the mood like in Canada? I mean, how is the situation there?
Well, I would say just last week, the weather has been fantastic. Something that we've been waiting, and we always keep on waiting for the whole year. And this is something we're enjoying about 22, 23 degrees, and it's a warm weather. No matter of social distancing and COVID, all the restrictions that we have. It's something very difficult for most of the folks to stay at home when you see something like 20 to 23 degrees, beautiful sunshine. So yeah, there's no rain and stuff. So the last 3, 4 days has been fantastic. I could see literally everybody stepping out of the house. People still continue to maintain the social distancing, and there are more strict regulations at the stores. And when you go to the garden center without a mask, without a gloves, they just don't let you in. So there are some definitely good protocols people are doing. Uh, the scariest part for all of us is whether nobody wants a second wave to come in, right? It has been a couple of months. We have been very, very restricted. Predominantly 95%, I would say, folks have been working from home, except the frontline workers, which we all salute them, who are taking so much of risk to step up and help and support all of us. But yeah, I mean, the sad part is pretty much what we are talking about today, because especially today, being a Sunday, at this point of time, I would have said like maybe the first ball or a first bat I would have already done in Toronto, which I'm sitting behind the computer is because absolutely there's no cricket started up over here. Everything has been blocked. Everything has been restricted. We are in a hope that maybe at least in July things will open up. If not, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Yes, it
So if
is.
I'm not wrong, this is the time where the season starts in Toronto, right, for cricket?
Yeah, by the 10th of May is where the field gets opened up, and we are almost getting from a spring summer kind of a mode. The first few games, Shabazz, has always been rain, and it's nasty. It's a little cold and sunny kind of stuff. But now at this point, like end of May is absolutely ready to go. And last couple of weeks, as I said, like it's been fantastic. And I can't believe all my friends, they just go into the backyard and they try and do some bowling and say like, to the Ford, who's our premier, to basically say like, please have some courtesy, open up the grounds. We want to come and go, because again, the love of cricket is unbelievable all over the world now.
So which team do you play for there currently?
So here, the team is called Royal Hunters. Apparently, there's in about 4 years, I played for a team called Hindustan 11. And Hindustan 11, and I need to talk to you about the journey of how I actually even joined. It is one of the most funniest way that I joined the team and the club. And now, for the last couple of years, I've been playing with Royal Hunters. So this is in May 2012 when I made my first landing in Toronto. So when I made the first landing, typically what you do is you want to make sure you did all the basic setups like banking. You needed to convert your driver's license, figure out which would be the better place for us to stay, and more importantly, you try and do some research on what potentially jobs available and who do you connect with. All that basic things that we would like to do.
Yeah.
So I did that, and if you remember back in Dubai, I was with Geodis as a company, and one of the products that I handled was BIC, the guys with lighter pen stationaries and stuff. So I connected with the global supply chain team, and there's a gentleman called Chintan Shah, who basically was the head of supply chain based out of Canada. So I connected, and with very few connections that I could do, and I was able to make him as a connection. I said like, well, I'm actually traveling to Toronto for a week. Excuse me, traveling for a week, and is it something? Can I come and meet with you? And obviously, I understand how the job market and all this different stuff is. He said, yeah, absolutely fine. Made an opportunity, came in here. The first day went to the bank, and I think they said you need a couple of other documentation like housing, driver's license, whatever. So okay, then I have to pause that, get my driver's license done. In all of this mix, met with Chintan, and I'm not sure whether we spoke about the job opportunity or not. The first thing we did is we signed up for the cricket league.
All right, that's what
So
cricketers do.
it is. I mean, with probably less than 10 minutes of our conversation, I don't know. It just suddenly opened up a topic of cricket, and he said, like, man, do you play cricket? I said, yeah, I do. Oh man, we do have a club, and this is what we do and stuff. This is a perfect time in the season. Would you like to register? Sure. I mean, I had no one, obviously in Toronto, that I could refer. So, like, remember, this is another absolute opportunity for us to get started, because sport is one of the events where you get to meet a lot of people with some common mindset,
Absolutely.
and then very, very quickly you can connect and talk about, okay, what do you do, how you can help and stuff. I felt this is another fantastic opportunity, and we took the journey from there.
Absolutely. I mean, if you remember, our first conversation was when you joined Alpha Logistics, when we worked together. You came on as an analyst, and you were trying to get to understand what the SOPs for the transport department was that I was working. And one of the first questions I remember asking you was, do you play cricket? You said, yes. I said, fine, there's a match on Friday, please come on. And there you were. And I think that's where we kind of gel together as well. So similar stories wherever you go, I guess, as far as the cricket is concerned. It's taking you places.
It is, Shabazz, and I can vouch that no matter whether you're like a born Indian or a born Canadian or whatever nationality or race you are, a common ground as a word called cricket and an interest of that, it just takes you beyond boundaries in terms of how
Absolutely.
you can get connected, how quickly you can actually move on. So
Absolutely.
it is that just keeps me happy and going. I mean, end of the day, at this point of our age, it's more, at least for my, it is more of fun and exciting than actually taking it seriously into a career kind of stuff.
You
So
have to play the
yeah,
game for the love of it anyway, right?
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, how are things with you?
Things have been pretty good. I mean, as far as the cricketing side is concerned, I was coaching a few kids last year for a few months in Bombay. After that, I went to Bangalore, played a lot of matches there as well. Prior to Bombay, I was in Pune for about 2.5 years. I played the best cricket that I could ever play. That was on turf, grass grounds, swinging ball and all that. And I loved wicket keeping to those. And I'm sure if you were there, you'd have loved to go on those pitches. Those early morning, dewy, kind of, with coldish temperatures. I'm sure you're enjoying that right now in Toronto as well, wherever you get to play, that is. But in Pune, it was unbelievable. The best cricket that I've ever played in my life was in those 2.5 years. And yeah, loved keeping to those talented Indian players. I mean, you say that, we have as expatriates, we get to meet a lot of these Indian, Pakistani, Sri Lankan players all over the world. But the real talent is actually in those real countries itself, back home. Like in India, you find these Indian talent in cricket. I'm sure the same case for Sri Lanka and Pakistani players as well. In their hometown, there's so many talented players that, it's just mesmerizing sometimes. I was in awe that I was finding myself lucky that I was even getting to play with these people. They're so talented, so very talented. It's just
I think
unbelievable.
that is one very positive thing about you, Shabazz, is not about just you playing and being part of the team, but you absolutely look at other players and encourage and pick up those young talents, and obviously continue to make sure like they are successful, which is a very unique talent that you got. So I would
Thank you so
definitely
much.
encourage you to continue and look for and cheer those young folks, which is always fantastic, man.
Yeah, I mean, this channel is also basically a part of doing that as well. Like there are a lot of cricketers that I have played with. And now the Zoom chats are basically to reminisce all the old memories that I have had the fortune of experiencing with like guys like you, Dashoba and Sachin and all those very many players that I played with. But at the same time, this channel when I started, it was basically to get little or whatever exposure I can get to those players who actually are there at the ground level playing those club matches day in day out, and they don't do it for anything else but for the love of the game. And the organizers who organize these tournament everywhere around wherever I am, that was in Pune at the time. So to give them a bit of exposure to get their cricketing journeys out here on YouTube, video, and Facebook, and just to let the people know that these are the guys who are making the difference to the cricketing side. That's what.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's awesome.
So talking about
I
cricketing
think our
journeys,
memories, yeah.
yeah. Sorry,
Go ahead.
talking about cricketing journeys. How and when did your cricketing journey as such start? When was the first time that you picked up a bat?
When it started, I would say probably I was maybe 10, 11 years old. And this is back home in India in Chennai. So right opposite to my house, maybe about less than 200-300 meters away, there was a park which was obviously no slides or anything, but just like an empty ground.
Okay.
And I do see every evening there are folks like quite elderly people playing with tennis ball. So there is a league on tennis ball, and it's only half side. So there is no leg side because obviously can't have a fortunate of having the whole ground to be played, right? So you get into one side of the corner and you continue to do. So we went there, a little bit of like a biking kind of stuff, like cycle rides and all that kind of stuff. And then eventually, maybe one of those days they fell short with the folks in the field. And one of the buyer was like, okay, do you mind? Do you want to kind of join? Do you want to field? So probably the entire school year, maybe I would have just done fielding than anything else. Maybe on grade 11 and 12. At the end of the day, it's still fun and it is something to be part of it, and we did. It's slowly. Batting is impossible. Forget it. You start with fielding, and then when there's obviously no one is available on bowling, then they obviously give you that opportunity, like, okay, why don't you come and actually do the bowling too? I'm like, okay, that's kind of where I started. And I started as a medium pacer, where obviously with tennis ball, like what the hell do you do on a spin? I have no idea. So with the medium pacer, I started with that. And I continued, obviously enjoyed the game of love. And I would say around at the age of 11 or 12, just about close to that is kind of where I, picked it up, and I was quite more interested. And one of other few friends said, like, why don't you take this as a sport? If you're interested, then you should coach, and you should really do in the right way in terms of how you want to train. And I spoke to my dad, and I said, like, this is something I'm interested in to do. He did a little bit of research. He had no affiliation with cricket. He used to play soccer during his college days, but then he did find from his friend circle. And there is a cricket academy called Asiatic Cricket Academy in Chennai, quite far away, Shabazz. Like, you need to travel like few kilometers and then take a train and then get into 4 stops or whatever before you can actually get into the cricket academy. So, that was the only academy probably we found, or I don't know, whatever the case is, through some link that he recommended. So joined there for a summer camp. And that was my first summer camp. Still remember Dad had a Dodge scooter, and it is in the morning, like 4:30 in the morning. Mom used to give me a glass of milk and an egg, raw egg inside. The reason why the milk and an egg mixed in it is you're gonna be completely full at least up until 11, 12. You're not gonna be hungry. That's secret or whatever that is that just keeps your stomach full. So I had that. 4:30 in the morning, he drives me up, and I think about 5 o'clock I reach the station, Tamram station, and I take a train. The first train is like 5 o'clock, and then 5:15 or whatever it starts. By 5:30, I reach the Pallavaram station, which is the 4 stations after Tamram, before I can go into the academy, and then we just continue to walk probably 20 minutes to get into there. So about before 6 o'clock is where it starts. The sunshine picks it up, and 6 o'clock is the academy starts. Do 3 big rounds and stretchings and all that. And I think 6, probably, I would say 7:30 is where we start the nets, and it goes until 11. And then by the time we come back home would be about 12:31. And that used to be the summer camp, like all day long. including the weekends, for about 3 months. And I think that opened the first opportunity to, play with the cricket ball and obviously play with more disciplines and all that kind of stuff. And that led me to my first journey to participate on under 13, what you call as sub districts within Chennai.
All
So
right.
you got the sub districts like zonals, and then you actually get into other parts. So a couple of versions. One is this: I continued more to be in a professional kind of stuff, and on my schoolings, I studied in Kendra Vidyalaya (KV). So the Kendra Vidyalaya also has a lot of. I mean, they play an excellent amount of sports. I mean, every single field. Sports is like huge in
Huge.
the KV schools. So even with cricket, they used to have within the city, and then you move into zonals, and then you move into nationals. So it's really popular and quite big. So school was probably, I would say, the highest level of cricket that I was able to play, just because we were fortunate to win, and we were fortunate to travel quite a few places. So went even to like Delhi and Kanpur during school days, and actually played a lot of cricket leagues within the Kendra Vidyalaya divisions and zonals and stuff like that. I think that kind of all made a huge exposure as I continued, and that's where my journey kicked off.
Very nice. So traveling for almost 2.5 hours or so to get to the cricket field, and then coming to a country like I believe you were in Australia for your higher education. Like cricket, obviously you have played cricket in Australia, then you have played cricket in UAE, now you play cricket in Canada. So there are these four different countries that you played cricket in. So tell us about the differences between all of them, or maybe the similarities that you find.
Oh, for sure, for sure. India is probably the more disciplined way of playing cricket.
Yeah.
The recognition of what you do and how you're valued is completely been. I mean, there has been definitely a tight competition to be part of the squad. You need to really work very hard to be part of it. And Shabazz, right after getting a little bit more trained, one of my coach called Riaz Ahmed, and he was a Railways Ranji Trophy player. He picked me up and he actually said, Ram, you know what? I want to make some changes on your all-round performance. In the sense, I don't want you to be a fast bowler. I want you to become a half spinner. Okay. And he was a half spinner too. And he said, like, don't worry, I'm here this summer. We'll spend all of our time and effort to make you a half spinner. So he basically changed me entirely from a medium pacer to a half spinner and a top order bat. And I'll tell you why this journey went back to a medium pacer if you would have recalled playing in the UAE. So with a half spinner, and that's kind of what my entire journey has been in India, being a top order batsman with a half spinner, because the combination of that being an all-rounder
Yeah.
was quite a good opportunity that you could be picked.
Absolutely.
People in the medium pacer, I think historically there's just been a medium pacer. There were very little Manoj Prabhakar kind of a time people wanted to pick it up, right? They don't want to really get into that. They were more going towards either you're a bowler or a batsman, or when it's an all-rounder, you're like more of a spinner, kind of a top order. Yeah, so went into that aspect. So I think the journey with definitely most of my games has been on mat cricket back in Chennai. There has certainly been some tough wicket games, including the MA Chidambaram Stadium that I've played through. Those are all exciting and one of the best moments, because can't wait for the days, can't wait for the sunrise to be up, and can't wait to get every moment of your the time it goes, you're super duper excited. First time ever in your life you actually wore a spike shoes. All that was something that you look forward to get into that journey.
Even the feeling of just entering the stadium as well, right? So that also, the whole journey itself
Yes.
is unbelievable.
Absolutely. I think the core competency in terms of how do you appreciate the game, what are the talents and what are the nuances of cricket, has undoubtedly happened all in India. So got the foundation quite well. And obviously, for my bachelor's, I did in Loyola College, and I played there a little bit as well. But college was the bachelor's was not a lot more effort. I think right after the 12th, it kind of settled a little bit, and it was more of like a fun than actually taking into a career. Because in India, honestly speaking, you cannot. It's going to be a extreme challenge to beat both in studying as well as in cricket if you wanted to kind of take both as a career. So either you need to soften up studies a little bit and just focus on cricket quite a bit. And I had to make a balance and just went into a different direction. Australia, went into University of Sydney in Australia.
Oh.
And this is another thing, which is probably the first couple of weeks. I straight away went and found like, okay, do we have a cricket team in Sydney? Okay, and find out where it is. And you go, there's one of the parks, cricket league parks, and with all the nets going on. And they said like, well, this is the Sydney cricket team practice. If you want to join and if you want to talk to somebody, here's go and stuff. I did that, Shabazz. Just about 2 weeks, I went and played like maybe 3-4 days every day and did that. But again, the commitment was quite a lot. And I say the commitment was quite a lot is because of two things. One, we were fortunate to go to Australia to do our masters. That doesn't mean that I can sit back and all the funding has been done. I still need to work part-time 20 hours into supermarkets or whatever the case is and still get that done. So when you do the 20 hours of work, the university classes for masters is always in the evening from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Oh,
And there's about 4 days that I do that, and the 3 days that I get opportunity, I actually do that in the evening as well. So literally, my evenings was all blocked, and I couldn't even have an opportunity to go to Sydney for a practice game or any of that.
sad.
All right, I know this is not gonna work the way we want it, but then similar to how we have Sharjah Eagles kind of stuff, we do have quite a lot of leagues going on. In one of the leagues that I played, and some great memories. I still have a lot of friends from the same cricket team called Apaches, and
Okay.
we continue to have Facebook ad. And whenever they win a tournament, they tag me and all that. They say like, "Okay, we
Sweet.
miss you, bro," and stuff like that. So
Sweet.
it's still a fantastic venue there.
That's nice.
In the UAE, I would say it's completely different too. Again, it's a hit and miss scenario in UAE. There's no rationale behind being patient and rotating the strikes or any of that. And there were a couple of reasons for that. I mean, our ground, literally, we didn't have any grass and it was completely dried out, right?
Yeah.
So, when you really have a good stroke and a shot, it's either a 4 or a 6. So the mindset of a single and rotating, it doesn't even exist.
Oh, but
Where and
I
how
was
would you
I was
even take
happy
it?
that it was that way because we got to see some glorious cover drives with you, brilliant legs, some beautiful straight sixes, hooks, pulls and cuts. You played 360 cricket, so for my point of view, I wasn't complaining. I'm a wicket keeper. I don't have to bowl and get beaten all around. That way, I'm happy. And then I have players like yourself, Arvesh Bhai, Samir Bhai, a lot of those other guys, Zishan and all. Brilliant batters. All I had to do was just enjoy the cricket and all stuff. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry to.
No, I did the same as well. I think we elevated to appreciate the game in the UAE, not just playing in Umm Queen and Ajman and stuff, but eventually, in obviously the Sharjah Cricket Stadium, and when the ICC started opening up the
Yeah.
stadiums, I don't even know what is the place. What's the place they call?
The ovals behind the stadium, the Dubai Sports City.
Dubai Sports City, correct. Dubai Sports City. So when that happened, I don't know if you remember, Shabazz, but at least about 2-3 games that we played in the under the floodlights with the
Yeah.
Kumar and his team with Alpha Team Logistics.
Yeah.
So had couple of that opportunity. Even with the work with Geodis and Alpha Team, we kind of played a couple of games.
Yeah. Now, you remember Dubai ground as well. You played in
Oh,
Dubai.
Dubal! I completely forgot. Yes. Dubal, couple of seasons. I don't think it was a great hit for me personally on Dubal. Maybe just a little bit of 20s, 30s and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Nothing significant, but an absolute good exposure.
Yeah, a great ground to field as such, to dive. You can just dive blindly on the ground. Lush
Oh yeah,
green ground.
yes.
So I, as a
Well,
wicket keeper, I used
Han,
to look forward to them.
Yeah, I know for sure. That lush green and stuff that you're talking about is exactly every single game that happens in Toronto.
Oh, you're going to be making those UAE cricketers jealous when they see this video.
No, that's true. So over here, it is 100% lush green. Every
Sure.
single ground is lush green. They continue to obviously lawn mow every single time because of the place how it is and stuff. But in
Mhm.
terms of the pitch, here we call more of like a synthetic turf.
Okay.
So it is, yeah. So it's more like a concrete, but under on top of the concrete, they have like a artificial grass kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Got it. AstroTurf, so to speak.
Astrophoto. So I think they do certainly because the weather during the winter, nobody's going to cover the pitch or
The
anything,
pitch,
right?
they cannot,
So
yeah.
that's kind of what it. So that is quite common in a lot of games over in Brampton and Mississauga. But
Okay.
we do have in terms of turf wicket as well. So last year, I had an opportunity to play quite a few on the turf wicket. Beautiful memories, beautiful because more. Yeah, I was quite successful. Last year was one of the most successful year in my entire cricketing history, I would say.
How
And
many
I say
centuries?
that century wise, I had only two, but I had like about four 75 plus not outs
Wow.
in
Wow.
the same year.
That's
In the same year,
nice.
and the last three of the 75s actually came up until the finals. So it was the quarterfinals, it was semifinals, and it was on finals. So it kind
Super.
of like all three came in and was able to get the team into the finals. So it was the best of memories that I would probably say that I able to do. And again, going back to old days, Shabas, it's like put your head down, keep rotating, don't slammer or do whatever. No problem. People will continue to do it. The other players will do it. But all you have to do is head down, keep rotating. And that
Okay.
is the biggest mindset I would say that I have to change or transform to keep the momentum going for the team.
Come back from UAE to Canada, that is.
Yes.
Alright.
Yes.
No, but I do remember so many matches that you played. I remember there were about one season you hit about 6 or 7 centuries for Sharjah Eagles, and they had about a lot of half centuries definitely. But there was 150 that you had hit, sorry, 100. It went to, I think you had scored about 160 or 70 runs,
Hmm.
and that was with a bat that I had just purchased. It was a new bat, a CF bat, if I'm not wrong. Remember the blue
Hmm.
color one? And you took it up and they said, I just want to borrow this bat for the matches. Fine, go ahead. After that, you came and you're like, I'm not giving this bat back to you, Siobhan. I'm taking it down. I was like, okay, fine, no issues. There you go. So that's how it is. I remember that happened once. That used to happen to me a lot. A lot of creators used to take the bats that everybody used to have, everybody's bats in our team. It wasn't like an exclusive, like if it's my bat, I will play with it. There was no forms as such in that team. Like Ashok, I used to carry about 20 bats for the team, that is. So that was a great camaraderie that the team had. So
Uh, Ashraf is certainly a name we can't skip over, right? He is one of the very legendary person who has been committed to the love of cricket, man. He and his, obviously the family coming together and supporting and helping, doing for years and years, and has been one of the great soul, probably I
yeah.
would say, from a cricketing perspective.
Yeah. So I want to move the topic now from your outdoor cricket to your indoor cricket. So since
Yes,
you've been in Australia, I just wanted to know: have you played indoor cricket in Australia before you came to UAE, or was it your first exposure?
I heard. I mean, I don't remember the owner's name of InSports in Dubai,
It was
but
Pradeep
when I
Manan, Mr. Pradeep Manan.
okay, when I
Rural
spoke to
Shipping.
them and they said the concept of InSport was actually got from Australia,
Yeah, it
and I
is.
don't know if that is true or
It
whatnot,
is.
but
It
they said
is.
like, okay, okay, but no, I have seen couple of indoor tournaments happening and stuff, but no, I never had an opportunity to play any indoor in Australia. My first indoor experience has only been in sports, and that has been the last experience as well. Sorry, I wouldn't say that is the last experience because in Toronto I did play indoor during the winter. So here they call it as a dome. A dome is being set up, and they play three different games over here. They play baseball under the dome.
Okay.
They do play soccer, and of course course, cricket that happens as well.
Yeah.
So I played for last year, but I'll tell you, I mean, two things. Our time of playing in sport has been one of the best ever cricketing. And you do you remember both Zishan and our Shahid, right? Shahid, the after
Yeah, Zahur and Shahid.
Zahur. Sorry, not Zishan. Zahur and Shahid. Like, holy moly, man! How many games did we like celebrate and come together? And oh my god, man!
I told the whole team. Okay, it was Zahur, Shahid, Shoaib, yourself, myself, Japinder, Wakas, and there was one person. The last person always used to be a rotation. So we'll be always having one shortage, and last minute we'll be pulling strings to get someone or the other to just come in as the eighth player. And somehow we just managed to get it. Sometimes it was Ravinder, sometimes it was whatnot. So I don't know. I even broke in Sarshad, after time.
Behind the stems, there was no one better than you. You did a fantastic job behind the stems. And again, as I said, like we all had one of the best mixes. Hello.
Hey,
hi.
Hello. Hi, uncle. Hello.
Hi.
You just woke up. Hello.
Good morning.
Hello.
Or rather, it's good evening.
Yeah, good evening for her. All right.
Yeah, so basically, that's kind of what. Do you remember? One of the, I think it's a finals against the South African or some kind of folks who were, we won that game too, tournament. I don't know whether you played that game, Shabazz, or maybe you were umpiring or something that you were definitely associated with that. It was all South African guys, and it was one of the finals. I think, it's an Alpha Team Logistics.
That was after I had left Alpha Team Logistics, and you guys were playing as Alpha Team Logistics, and I had left the company. I was officiating, and you guys were playing against the team.
Oh, could possibly be. Okay, all that, folks like, coming with so much of fight and this, and it was a good tough to go through.
Yeah. I remember the first time I asked you to come for indoor cricket, and it was basically you had already paid for us in outdoor cricket, and I just wanted to make sure that I get someone who can do both bat and bowl, because that's what you need in indoor cricket. You turned out to be a brilliant fielder at the long on position, back stump position, which is what it's called. But you were what do you say? Not averse to it, but thankfully you just came and tried it out, and again, thankfully, you loved it. So that's how we managed to get you in the team, my friends and club team first, and then we made obviously the company team, and then after that it went to so many heights. But I also remember the first time that we won the tournament, the D Division tournament. We won the semi-finals, and Kumar Sir was so happy. He actually already committed to us, both you and me on the side, not to the players. He already committed to us that he's going to be giving a party to us from the company side and all, from his personal side, sorry. And then, as it turned out, we went on to the finals and we won it. And after that, there was obviously a treat from the company side as well. So we all ended up getting, I don't know, he managed to get us watches. I still have that watch with me, a Westar Active watch.
Yes.
In my collection. They managed to get us to Room's shooting gallery in Jabal Ali, archery and shooting gallery. We all had a fun day out, the whole team, the supporters as well. And I still have the trophy from the shooting as well somewhere here in the house. So yeah, that was a great initiation for us as a Alpha group team for Indo cricket for us. So yeah. And then you remember we also did a tournament in sports, the Interdepartmental Annual Sports Day.
One day tournament within the group, right? Alpha Team group.
Yeah, the whole Alpha team. That was amazing as well.
I think they continue, or they may have just wrapped everything up. I'm not too sure, but at least a couple of years back, I continue to see some pictures on Facebook and some LinkedIn posted by Kumar, like about Alpha Team Logistics. They continue to lift a lot of tournament. And Shabazz, that is my first memory. Hey, do you remember Shahid Musa?
Yes, absolutely. He was the first guy who took my interview in Dubai, in Alpha Team Logistics. So his question for my interview was only 2 minutes. Okay, my interview with him lasted only for 2 minutes. It was, what do you do in cricket? I said, I'm a wicket keeper. He said, great, there's a match on the 13th, please come. And that was it.
All right. The reason why I said about Shahid Musa is that was one, and I don't think an outdoor cricket after I joined ever picked it up for Alpha Team Group. But prior to that, they used to have quite a large, big
Yes,
team, and there was
yes,
some big trophies you used to see in Alpha Team Logistics from those
absolutely,
days, from World
absolutely.
Queen and stuff. I think that was quite inspirational.
This was the last tournament that we played as with them logistics team. That time, this was the last one because after this, a few issues with the players, unavailability. Some were leaving, some had joined other companies, and we did not have enough level to make from the logistics side at that point
True,
of time. It's only
true.
yourself, me, and Ashok Bhai. You remember Ashok? Senior guy. So
Transportation guy,
yeah,
yeah.
there was only three of us from the logistics. Yeah, transport guy. There were three of us. So yeah, after that, we decided to kind of go and join China, both of us.
No, I see again. I had a very similar thought of in sports. So when I also thought, let's continue, let's try and explore the outdoor cricket, sorry, indoor cricket in Toronto. It's not the same. Probably you can have like a three pitches of in sports combined as a cricket over here in terms of indoor. So it's a little bit different, and I think adapting between an outdoor and indoor. I mean, those days was much quicker and easy. I think it takes a little bit, and I played just for one season, and I said like, holy man, the demand of work is quite hard and all that, and I said like, okay, I don't think I should continue.
Yeah.
So we dropped.
Okay, great. So I mean, see, this has been a great chat so far, and now we're going to be going towards the last part of the chat. If my baby allows me to do that. So a couple of questions I have is any two big memories or moments in your cricketing life throughout from the time you started with the 13-year-old and 13 side or till now? Any two memories that that you can pick on top of your head that stand out?
Uh, One of the best memory was on playing for under 13, and this was when I was playing for the combined district team. And my dad, for the first time ever, he actually came to watch the game, which he didn't tell me that he's going to be coming in. And I happened to see, and all my friends, like while I was batting, all my friends were like, "Hey, by the way, your dad is actually there and he's watching a game."
Okay.
So it was one of those moments where unexpectedly you had somebody who came in to cheer you up. I don't think I scored something outstanding. It was definitely some medium range, whatever. But it was one of the still a memory that I can remember.
Knowing you, your medium range
And
would be somewhere around 50s and 70s.
yes,
That would have been an
and
achievement
then
for me if my father was there.
for sure. And then I would say definitely the semifinals, winning and scoring beyond 75. It's pretty fresh, and I would say that the team were in the first 4 or 5 games we horribly lost, and we were like, holy shit, what's going on with this team? Like, we need to get back and stuff. With that, we took everything on top and finally came into the finals, and I think that's something I would definitely still remember.
Interesting. So that has been great. My one of my major memories from your cricket was that 170 plus now that I already spoke about. But also there were a couple of unbelievable knocks in Indo cricket when we needed somewhere around 40s or something, to win the match in the second innings. And you, along with Zahoor, I remember who was your partner, more or less, every time. You guys managed to score these 40s and 50s consistently. And those are the two memories that I can easily pick up. I'm not even going to talk about your bowling and how difficult it was for me to manage to swing up even on a single pitch. But yeah, those are the two things that I did not.
I remember Imran from Alpha Team used to call, no, not Imran. There was another gentleman who used to call me Jablali Express, whatever he used to call me under that. No, with Shahid, it was great. Like, somehow we used to click and the combination was fantastic. We used to get in the last last pair to get into the field and somehow get the scores going.
And the left-right combination, Shahid and you, when you guys were together, left-right combination was something that was very, like it was positive for us, because bowlers had to adjust a lot. And both of you used to go for your tackle shots. And in B division, I guess during those days, there weren't many skilled players, who could manage to tackle that, change the style. Okay, so now that we've done with the major part of your reminiscing, your cricketing journey so far, uh, your, your highlight moments and stuff, I now move on to the last bit of this chat show, which is basically your top picks as your players, your favorite players. Now, these are the players that you'll be selecting from the time, or rather, the ones that you have played with. Okay, I don't want any international cricketers and all that. Like my favorite is Rahul Dravid. I'm not going to name him because I'm not played with him. Okay, so technically, your favorite batsman, your favorite bowler, your all-rounder, and your fielder. These are the players that I want to play.
The favorite 11s that I'm gonna be picking it up with whom I have played.
Yeah, well, these are the best, like best of best, like best batsmen from the guys you have played with, or opposite to.
Oh, geez, Shabazz, that's pretty. I haven't got. I mean, a little bit of a thinking required in that for sure.
Absolutely. But something that comes to your head.
Yeah, definitely. I would say back home in Chennai, I would say there's a guy called Kapil who has been a great friend of mine. He's been a very consistent batsman. I would say him, and I will also say there's a guy called Jayesh. He used to be a left-hander, and one of like a Mark Vaughan kind of lefty. It is such a stylish kind of a guy with left-handed. It's one of the best. Those two comes very quickly in my mind. In terms of Australia was, I wouldn't really. There's a lot of mixed folks, so I wouldn't necessarily have.
This is overall from Australia, India, UAE, wherever you pick, just Canada, anywhere. Just one player that you have to pick from all these players. You don't have to go region to region.
Oh, if I have to pick just one player.
Yeah.
If I have to just pick one player, then definitely I'll go with Kapil, the guy in back home in Chennai. And the guy was definitely, we did a journey of almost 5-6+ years and had a fantastic thing to go through. And one of the most patient and dedicated guy on cricket field.
Sweet. Your favorite bowler?
My favorite bowler. My favorite bowler, I like to say Zahoor, especially from where he has picked up and where he has gone. I haven't followed a lot, but I certainly would say Zahoor would be one of my favorite bowlers.
He ended up playing Karnataka Premier League as well, which is the IPL of Karnataka.
Awesome. I do see some pictures coming up in Facebooks, but yeah, I hope he's doing well.
He's got a big mop of hair as well to go with. Okay, your favorite all-rounder?
My favorite all-rounder. I have to get back to you on that, man.
Okay, I thought you could have just picked up Ashwin, Loopy balls, these two balls.
No, I had to pick it up.
No worries. We'll do that on text message.
And keeper, I would definitely say yourself, and obviously there's another person called Balaji in Toronto.
Okay.
I would definitely have great memories for both of you.
Great.
And you specifically coming up from an in-sport, there's nobody else that I've seen as committed than you.
All right, thank you very much. It's a big honor to hear that. All right. So, lastly, before we, kind of shut shop for today, you get on with your day, I get on with my evening, iftar, and all that. Why don't you tell me your thoughts about the whole chat as such? What you think about this concept that I've started floating now, and the general feedback.
No, first of all, thank you, Shabazz, because taking even the initiative of connecting, to your point, like it's been at least half a decade for us to chat, and that is not possible without you connecting and bringing back the memories. And I don't even think I would have ever reminded about all my childhood days and when I started off, what was my memories and what did I do. Again, framing up and having those structured questions certainly has put a lot of smile in my face in terms of what we did and how the memories came through. This generation is different. When we give the same memories back to our children, their exposure and where they are living is completely different from what we did. So I think thank you for organizing.
My pleasure.
Plus, I would definitely say the structure, like committing to a date, committing to a time, which is also extremely important. So I think we kicked off on the right time, and we're ending up in the right time. So overall, from an experience, you have done a fantastic job. So thank you very
Thank
much
you so
for
much.
organizing and keeping in mind.
Thank you so much. I mean, what do we do if you don't start on time? I mean, the whole career in logistics is a waste otherwise, right?
I agree. I agree.
All right.
Like to include that part of as well.
Right. So thank you so much for finding time and letting me go through with you on your cricketing life as such. It has been a pleasure knowing your initial days and your experiences in 4 different countries now, and it's been beautiful to know what kind of life that you have lived through the cricket and the connections that you made.
Yes.
Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you, Shabazz. All the best to you as well. Take care.
Pleasure, man. Goodbye.